Welcome back, Gingies, to a new video. It's been a while since I made one of these videos. It's been a while since I made a guide for the channel, so I want to take it back to the basics and let's see what settings I have been using in CS2. Let's get right into it.
What are you doing? How have you still not subscribed yet? The video's loading right now, so go subscribe right now. You have some time. Go quickly. Alright, seems like the video has loaded. Enjoy.
Now, if you've been here for a while, you probably wonder, why are you making another video settings guide? Well, the first reason is because CS has received a ton of updates since the last one, and some stuff might have changed or there is new stuff. The second reason being that there's a ton of new people joining the channel, so I want to give them the opportunity to check out my settings as well. And well, a lot of them have been asking me questions about my settings and stuff, so this way I can just help everybody with one video, if that makes sense. Which brings me to one more thing I need to say before we get into the settings, and that's why would you watch my video? The reason that you should watch this video regarding settings is because I'm a person just like you. I have a normal PC. It's not $1 billion PC. I'm above average. Like, I am a pretty good player, being level 10 faceit and having over 10k hours and all of that stuff. You know, I am pretty good. And well, one of my good qualities is that I really like helping people. I'm not like Simple, where you ask a question, you never get a response because, well, he just has better stuff to do. I really don't. So if you have any questions, you can always ask them on Discord, or you can ask them in the comments, and I answer fairly quickly, and I do put in a lot of time answering and trying to help. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons you should watch this video, and you shouldn't just blatantly copy other people their stuff, because I can actually help you person to person, if that makes sense. But enough waffling, let's actually get into the settings. First things first, before we even get into the game, there's some launch options we can do on the Steam library page. So you go to your Counter-Strike, you right click it, click properties, and a tab will open up where you can input launch options. I will put these launch options in the description so you can just copy paste them. Some of the stuff might not work anymore, and some guy will probably tell me in the comments, but I feel like if it doesn't work anymore and it's there, like, who cares? It doesn't do anything anyway. I'm just been using these settings for a really long time, like these launch options, so I'm sticking with them. For one of these settings, it's pretty important that you don't just copy and paste it over from me, and that's the frequency 241, because frequency 240 basically means hertz 240. My monitor is 240 hertz, so if you would have a 144 hertz monitor, you would put here frequency 144. This is another launch option that I really like, and that's the console one. Basically the console just opens as soon as your game opens. I really like it because, well, with faceit you launch the game and you just copy paste the IP and you connect with the server. I don't have to open the console every time, you know. It's just, I like it, you know. So if you want it, you can also use it. I use FPS max 0. Some people ask a lot about this, so this is probably pretty useful for the people that want to know that. And this max player override thing is just so you can add more than a limit amount of bots on a team, you know. That's what I use for the recording the video where I played against bots. I needed more bots to join, so I had to put it higher.
No!
And now we are in the game, and before we get into the settings, I want to say one more thing. If you don't feel comfortable changing your settings, if you don't know how long it takes to get used to them, if you feel like you constantly change your settings like every fucking day and it doesn't feel like you're performing, I have a really good video on my channel about that. It is about resetting your mentality, starting with new settings, starting with a new mentality, how long it takes to get used to that mentality and all of that stuff. So if you're going to change any of your settings during this video, this is a really good video to check out. I'll put it on screen so you can go and check it out if you want to. And well, let's get into the settings. Let's start with the video settings. Pretty straightforward. I use display mode full screen, aspect ratio 4:3. I don't play black bars, I play stretched, and I play on resolution 2080 960. Now, way back when I used to start playing CS, I used to play on 1280 1024. I think this is also a really good resolution if you've never tried it. It is 5:3 though, it's not 4:3. It will show as 4:3, but it isn't. I've been sticking with 1280 960 just because of my muscle memory. I feel like I perform good on this and perform a little bit better on it than the 1280 1024. So I've been sticking with this one. Now before we move on, there's a little something that I want to add here, and that's if you've always played 16:9 and you have never played stretched, never tried it out, you really should. I think it is way better. It is my opinion though, so please don't don't kill me, but there's like 90% of pros that use 4:3 1280 960. I think it does give you a pretty big advantage, and if you've never tried it, I think you really should try it. If it's not good, you can always switch back, but you should try it out. Moving on from that, I play on 240 Hertz because, well, that's the refresh rate of my monitor. You should always pick the highest refresh rate that your monitor has. Like if you have a 144 Hertz monitor, play on 144, don't use 60. Well, just pick the highest one that your monitor is capable of. I play on 100% brightness. If you want to know how much that is with the gamma command, it's this R full screen gamma 2.007451. That's everything for the video settings. Let's move on to the advanced video settings. First off, boost player contrast basically has to do with the contrast of the fucking game, of the character models. I've seen pro players play with this on, but I have it disabled because I feel like it does really give me a ton of fucking input lag. That's my experience with it, and that's the reason I have had it disabled for forever. VSync, I don't want to go in detail, but just turn this off. I feel like I've never seen a player with display on. I feel like every player has it disabled, and I've had it disabled for always again, so that's just what I am using. I feel like it doesn't really run good when I turn it on, so disabled. Now moving on, we have Nvidia Reflex Low Latency, and I have this disabled, which is a little bit controversial because I've heard a lot of people and a lot of comments tell me, bro, turn it on, what the fuck are you doing? It's really bad for my PC. For some reason, it does give me a lot of fucking input lag. Like, you can literally see the input lag on the screen. It's pretty crazy. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to reduce your system latency and responsiveness of your PC, but might cost you a little bit of FPS. You could try playing with it on. I've seen people that play with it on, but it does really affect my PC a lot, so I have it disabled and I will keep it like this probably forever. We've already talked about the maximum FPS, so let's move on to all of this shit. Now, multi-sampling anti-aliasing mode. I've tried every one of them. Like, I've played on 4, 2, even SMA and 8. I really liked 8, so I stuck with it. I've been playing with 8 for a very long time, even on CSGO. I think it just works best for my PC. I would suggest to you going 4 or 8. I think these are probably the best ones. So yeah, I mean, you can actually, I forgot that there's a none option. You can honestly try out none as well. I've seen players that play with none, but I really like 8 MSA and I'm gonna stick with it. Global shadow quality. You should put this one on high. This is pretty important because if you go lower, you won't see the shadows of the characters on some maps. Like, for example, Nuke, you can literally see the shadow of the character before you see the character, which gives you a huge advantage. There's no need to go very high. That might be a little bit too FPS draining. But just don't go lower than high because you won't see the shadows anymore, and it is a pretty big advantage. So I'm sticking with high, and you should probably do that too. Dynamic shadows, again, you should keep this one on all, because if you use sun only, it will basically only show you shadows outside, so you won't see the indoors advantages like on Nuke, for example. Model, you don't really need every model looking like very fucking good. I feel like it's already amazing on low and it's just FPS draining, so just use low. Texture filtering mode, I've been using bilinear for so fucking long. I honestly couldn't even explain you why, but I've just been using it for so long. It gives me the best performance. I think it's really good looking. It doesn't give me any blurriness or anything. I think Billionaire is just the best in my opinion. So yeah, I've been using it for like fucking 15 plus years at this point. So shader quality, we don't really need it. We want FPS. Low particle detail, low, we want FPS. Ambient occlusion, it's a bit of a weird one. It's basically used for like calculating light and all of that stuff. I've had it disabled forever because, well, I prefer my performance over the game looking majestic. But I've seen players use it. Like, I think Monacy has it on or something. I'm not quite sure, but, well, I have it disabled. I prefer performance. High dynamic range. This has to do something where colors and brightness between pixels and all of that stuff. A lot of these settings have to do with lighting and shit. I have this one on quality. I've used quality since CS2 got released. I feel like it gives me way better performance than performance, which sounds really stupid, and I know it sounds stupid, but it is true. I feel like quality just works better for me, and I see a lot of pros using quality as well. So I think it's just the best one for me, so you should probably try it out as well. And then the fidelity super resolution has to do with rendering and stuff. I just have this disabled. It's the highest quality one. I feel like the other ones are pretty blurry, and it just gives me the best performance again. Now, I know that I didn't go super detailed on every setting. If you hover over them, you can always read some info about them and ask me questions. I did study gaming before I started studying to become a teacher, so I do know a lot of stuff about lightning and like gamma rendering and all of that fucking shit. But I don't want this video to be an hour. I feel like these settings give me the best performance. They work the best for me. I've been using them for a really long time, and well, that's why I'm sticking with them, and that's why I'm recommending them to you, and you should probably try them out too, and maybe they work very well for you as well. But if they don't, you can always ask me for help and I'll help you out. All right, let's move on to the audio settings. First off, master volume 100%. I use 35 Windows sound, so my volume on Windows is 35 and my master volume in game is 100. Audio device is just a device that you use for listening, your headset. And then moving on, we have some bigger stuff. EQ profile, natural. LR isolation 0%, and perspective correction no. I feel like these are the best audio settings. I can hear enemies clearly, I can read where they are, I hear where they're stepping, and I've recently seen on Twitter that a lot of people are using the same settings. So I do think these are the best ones. But if you'd like to try out another one, like another EQ profile, I'll put one of my old profiles on screen so you can see it. You can try that out as well. I kind of liked it, but I feel like this is just way better. So I would suggest you just picking this one though. But well, some people just want to try out other stuff, you know. I feel like there isn't a lot of other stuff to go in detail about here, like you have play audio in background. No, it kind of depends on your personal preference or what you're using. Like I just have streamline to push to talk. No, I have this on 120 because every time I changed it, it just changes back, so I don't bother changing it anymore. And well, this is just my music settings. I literally just have everything turned to 0. There's one thing you should turn up a little bit higher, and that's 10-second warning, so you know that the bomb has 10 seconds left. I play with it on 0 because I'm used to it, like I just know the timing of the bomb. But well, you should or could turn this on. Like I don't think it's a problem you turning it on. It might be really helpful for you, especially if you are a little bit new to the game. Moving on to the game settings, there's a lot of fucking stuff here, so feel free to pause the video if you need to, and let's get into it. Max acceptable matchmaking ping. Right here you can see all the servers and how much MS you have with them. I have this on 25 because, well, that's the servers I prefer playing on, and I've always had it on 25. But recently, maybe you've had this problem as well. Sometimes I have been queuing for like 10 fucking minutes and not finding a game. So you could turn this up to like 50. I wouldn't really go a lot higher than that. Maybe max 75, but that's already a fuck ton. So I would stick between 50 and 25. Max acceptable game traffic bandwidth, I have this on unrestricted. Buffering to smooth over packet loss. I've heard that this helps some people decreasing their like stuttering and packet loss. I have it on none. I feel like the setting doesn't really help me a lot, so I keep it on none. With that being said, the people that do use it, I've seen most of them use 1 packet. I've never seen anybody use 2 packets, so you could try this to like help you improve your stuttering and shit, but you should stick with 1 packet or none. Moving on to my HUD settings. I have 0.90 as HUD scale, and I have color bright white. I used to use light blue, but for some reason I really like bright white. I really like it. I don't know what to say. And then I just have large player count as no. I kind of like seeing the avatars knowing, oh, it's that player, you know. I feel like it does give you a little bit of information even without you thinking about it or knowing it, so I just keep it on low. Team, I don't really know how to go in detail about this. I didn't even know this show team ID through vaulting. I've been playing with this for a really long time, so I'm sticking with it. You can copy it if you want. I think this is mostly personal preference, honestly. Same goes for the communication stuff. It's mostly personal preference, but I would recommend you turning on player pings because I've seen a lot of people turn this off. You could keep it display without sound if you don't want to hear the ping, but a lot of people, like, don't forget you're playing fucking CS2. Most people don't bother talking or don't have a mic, and they use the ping system a lot. Like, when I turned this off, it happened before that people were like screaming at me, like, bro, I pinged it. Like, people do use this ping system a lot, so you should really keep it on. And another setting here, almost forgot, allow animated avatars. I have this on no, because I feel like it takes away my focus from the crosshair, and I don't really like things taking away my focus. You probably noticed that a ton of my settings are like pretty minimalistic, so that's why I've turned this off. I really feel like it took away my attention a lot when it was turned on, so no. This is pretty much all personal preference. If you want, you can pause and copy it, but I'm not gonna go in detail here. Moving on to item, there's a little bit of stuff to talk about here. Delayed sniper rifle on scope after shot, I have this on no. Auto resume sniper rifle after shot, I have this on yes. Detached silencer on M4A1S and USP-S, I have this on second fire. Don't disable this. I feel like it is really good just to have. There's been a ton of situations where I'm sitting in a corner, I take off my silencer and people don't see me because I have taken off the silencer. Like, your gun is longer and it does stick out further from behind the wall. So just keep the option there. If you don't want to use it, fine, but at least the option is there. It could help you and save you in a ton of situations. View model position, I have it on desktop. If you want, I will paste the command for my view model in the description. Why did I say if you want? This is a fucking video. I'll put it there so you can just copy it into your console. But yeah, I just use desktop. More on that in the description if you want the command. Preferred view model, left, right, hand. I've been using right for a really long time, and that's why I'm sticking with it, because it's in my muscle memory. I feel like now when I play left, I can spray and shoot for shit. So I'm sticking with right, and I'm going to keep using right. But I would see an argument for you trying out left, so you should try out both. I just feel like right is just built in my muscle memory. I have to stick with it, you know. Now, this also kind of has to do with you being right or left dominant eye. When you're right dominant eye, you should play left hand. When you're left dominant eye, you should play right hand. Now, should, like, you can do whatever you want. Like me, I am right dominant, but I keep playing right hand because of the muscle memory again. Like, you can still choose, but that's kind of how it works, you know, with the dominant eye. Now, how do you know if your right eye is dominant or left eye? Pretty easy. Go into paint, draw a circle, move a little bit back. I'm taking my microphone with me so you can still hear me. Make a triangle with your fingers. Look at the circle. Close your left eye, close your right eye, and the eye that you close where the circle moves and isn't in the triangle anymore, that is your dominant eye. So for me, when I close my left eye, the circle stays in the middle of the triangle. When I close my right eye, like I can't even see the circle anymore. So my dominant eye is my right eye. Dominant right eye, play left. Dominant left eye, play right. Pretty easy. Again, you can choose whatever you do, it's personal preference, but that's kind of how it works. First person traces, I keep these on. I've seen people play with it off, but I like seeing where my bullets go, so I keep it on. Always show inventory, yes. Open by menu with use keys. This is just personal preference. Again, you can copy it if you want. Moving on to the radar tablet settings. Radar center the player, yes. Radar is rotating, yes. Radar HUD size 0.83. Radar map zoom 0.45. Radar map alternate zoom, I don't know what this is, 1. Toggle shape scoreboard, yes. Again, personal preference, but these have been the radar settings that I've used since starting with CS, so yeah. Now here are all my settings for my crosshair. You can pause the video and copy them, or you can just pretty simple go to share or import. In the description there will be a code. I'll copy it and put it in the description. You just paste it here, click import, and you'll have my crosshair. Or you can just go ahead and copy everything, but that takes a very long time, and well, it's just easier this way, so just copy the code if you want my crosshair. Then the next bunch of the settings are pretty much personal preference again, so you kind of have to choose. I think this is fucking sick, the grenade lineup rectal. I've turned it off because I've been used to playing with the regular crosshair, doing lineups with it. It's probably really good to turn it on. Like, I would recommend you turning it on. I just don't like it. Like I said, I'm a bit minimalistic, so I like to keep it turned off. Then for the telemetry stuff, it's kind of the same. I keep it all off because I'm minimalistic. I don't like shit on my screen, but I see a reason why you should turn on like frame rate and shit if you want to see that, or your ping and stuff. It is really good that they added the stuff, but I'm minimalistic. I just don't like it, so that I turned all of it off. Moving on to the keyboard and mouse settings. Okay, so first off, I play on 400 dpi with the glorious Model O. I play on 2 sensitivity. That's the setting I've always been using. I've always been playing on 400 dpi and 2 sensitivity. I don't know why I told you which mouse I play on, but well, that's the mouse I use. I'll probably put all my fucking gear in the description as well, so you know all of that stuff. But 400 dpi, 2 sensitivity. Whoa, I almost forgot. Very important is to go to your Windows settings. Go to your mouse Windows settings. Go here, click additional mouse settings, go to pointers, no, not pointers, pointer options, and turn off enhanced pointer precision. It makes your mouse so much better. I feel like everybody should turn this off, and it's not talked about a lot, so make sure to fucking do that so your Windows doesn't like overcorrect the movement of your mouse and shit. Alright, back to the video. The other stuff I didn't really touch, like zoom sensitivity, always been on 1, duck mode hold, walk mode hold, and zoom button hold, repeat disabled. Been on this for ever, so yeah, that's pretty much my mouse and keyboard settings. I'll scroll through the keybinds so you can pause the video and copy them, but I feel like, well, this is just all personal preference, you know? Like, if you want to use something else for your reload button or your other stuff, like, you can, you know? This is just all personal preference, so I won't waste too much time on it. Just gotta do a quick scroll through so you can pause and copy it if you want. And that's pretty much everything for my keyboard and mouse settings. Wait, before you go, you might think that's all the settings. Well, that's all the settings for CS. I still have Nvidia settings left, which I also want to show you, so let's get right into that. So my Nvidia settings. So when I launched my PC for the first ever time, I went into the Nvidia settings and put this on use my preference, emphasizing performance. It just always changes back to this one for some fucking reason, but well, that's what I used to do. Moving on to the 3D settings, again here you can pause, don't want to go in detail about everything. Most of it is turned off or is on prefer maximum performance. Like all of it is preferred for maximum performance. I really care about my performance a lot, but when you do the adjust image thing and you put preference performance, it automatically gives you these settings. There isn't really a lot of stuff that you should change. I don't think there's anything you should change if you do that. It just automatically gave me the settings, and I've been playing with them for a really long time. I know some of you will say you should have done this. You can also go program settings and you can select a program. Like you can just do the settings for Overwatch or just do the settings for Payday. I just use it on global. It's been working and my performance has always been good, so you know, I'm just going to stick with it. Then the resolution page, make sure to put your refresh rate on the highest one here. I've seen people that play with a fucking 240 Hz monitor for 5 years that have this on like 60. Put this on the highest setting that's possible for your monitor. Color settings, I use digital vibrance 100 because I'm used to it. A lot of pros used to do this in back in the day as well. I've seen a lot of them turn it down again because their eyes are getting fucking destroyed. Basically what this does is it eliminates all the grayscale added to colors. If you have this on 50, your monitor basically adds 50% of grayness to colors, so they look a bit darker, a bit easier on the eyes. I have it on 100. I just have the full colors, no added grayness, and I like it like this, so I've been using it for a very long time. Now, last time on one of those videos, somebody commented that if you do creative stuff, and this is very true, like for example when I make thumbnails or when I make videos, every screen has an added grayscale. Your mobile has an added grayscale. So if you make a thumbnail on digital vibrance 100% and you send it to your mobile phone, the grayscale will be up again, so there will be a color difference between your monitor and your mobile. If you want it to be the same, you have to put it on 50. But I just like 100 way better. I like how the game looks and stuff, or CS and all my other games, so 100 it is. Adjust desktop size and position. So for my main screen, select the scaling mode, full screen, so you don't have lag bars but your game is stretched. Perform scaling on GPU. The reason I use this is because I've seen a lot of pros use it, so I don't really know how to go in detail about this, but I just always have this on GPU because a lot of pros recommend it, so that's why I did it. Here you can also do your refresh rate if you forgot it on the other page. And then for my second screen, I do perform the scaling on display and I don't do it on GPU. I just keep my main screen on GPU. Now that is everything for the Nvidia and video settings, but there's just one more thing before you head off that I want to show you, and that's my CS loadout. A lot of people use different loadouts, so I think it's pretty cool if I just show you which loadout I have. It won't take long. Let's get into it. CT, USP, dual Berettas, P250, 5.7 Desert Eagle. On the mid tier, I use Nova, XM, UMP, 45, MP9, MP7. For the rifles, I use FAMAS, M4A1S, M4A4, Scout, and AVP. Moving on to T side, see, I told you, we're going very quickly. Glock, dual Berettas, P250 again, Tech 9, Desert Eagle. On the mid tier, Nova, XM again, UMP 45, Mac 10, MP7, and for the rifles, Galil, AK, SG, SSG, and AVP. You'll probably see that there's a lot of similarities, like I use XM on both. Again, I like my stuff just being the same, that's why I also don't change my settings a lot, like barely ever. And that, Gingies, is going to be it for this video. If you do have any further questions, don't be scared to ask them. I will do my best to answer them. Leave them down in the comments or join my Discord and ask them there, and I will personally make sure that you get the answer that you need. I'll do my best to help you. I do really like helping people, so yay. Ton of fucking guides on this channel if you want to check any of those out, but I feel like starting with the basic with your video settings is really important, so really make sure that you get the right stuff that you need, and that's why I'm telling you, if you have any questions, please do ask them. That's going to be everything for this video. I just want to say thank you, Gingies. The reason I made this video is so I can give a little bit back and give you some input and help you as well, because you've helped me a ton as well, like especially through Like the past few fucking months have been really hard, so I do really appreciate all of you guys checking out my channel, leaving sweet comments, and yeah, I just wanted to do this as kind of thank you to you guys. I know I've made video guides before, but I think it's important to keep you updated about that stuff. But yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you everybody that checks out my videos. I do really appreciate it. If you want, you can leave a like down below, and maybe if you want, you can even subscribe. I do have a lot of guides on my channel, so you can even turn on the notifications if you want to get notified when I upload a video. And that's going to be it for this video, Jinjis. I will see you in the next one. Please stay as wonderful as you fucking are. Also, I do know I look like a dipshit. I don't know, my fucking... why do I look like this? I don't know what happened. It's my hair or something. It's because the beard is gone. Like, what the Bye, Jinjis. Bye. Peace. お前はもう死んでいる。